If I look back on my career when everything's done and dusted, if I put smiles on people's faces coming to the game, and if they've watched me and smiled every time I think of my name or think of me, then I'm happy with that. No matter what I've achieved in my footy career, all I'm worried about is I've made people smile and just enjoy the game a bit more.
Something special. Can he deliver? Have a look at that for the first goal of your career. Stephen slips. Oh, look at the skillful pickup of Eddie Betts.
And even like on the footy field, I've always tried and find ways when I'm not playing great footy, I've always try and find ways to move forward. How am I going to get myself into the game? Like, stay optimistic. Don't think negative. Always think positive.
Eddie fooled them all. Escaped. Eddie Betts. Eddie Betts.
But I do go back and I do look at footage when I do kick a goal, and just to see the enjoyment of everyone, and even little kids to old ladies, brightens up my day. It makes me really happy just to see that I'm bringing joy to people in the crowd. Growing up in Kalgoorlie with my grandmother and grandfather, with all my cousins, there's about 18 of us kids in a 3-bedroom house. I just loved getting out, kicking a footy, playing with my cousins, playing marks up in the front yard and playing sport, and that really drove me. I found that determination to push through it and try to achieve something that I've been dreaming about since a little kid, and that's to play AFL footy.
Running out of space, Collins almost a chance to get that first elusive goal. Betts, though, grabs it out of the pack, kicks the goal.
Getting to know the Adelaide fan base, the cheer squad there, they really embraced me and really helped drive my footy to another level. You know, I go near the ball and they chant my name.
Turn to the ground, and he says, "I'm Eddie Betts. I can do that sort of thing."
I'm having a bad game and all I need to do is just go near it and the crowd goes crazy, and it kind of makes me want to work harder, makes me want to get into the game a bit more.
The football world is in mourning. Crows players devastated as the entire football community comes to terms with the news.
We didn't expect what was going to happen, and we had to be resilient, we had to be mentally tough, we had to get back out and play footy, and it was really, really tough knowing your coach has been murdered and we have to get out and try finish off the season. If you look at my wrist, I got my kid's name on here and then I got SW on here. And SW means start well. And where that comes from is it was a Thursday afternoon, 5 o'clock in the evening, and we're all going home. And Phil Walsh came up to me and said, "You need to start well this week. If we get off to a good start, no one's going to stop you." And gave me a fist pump, and those were the last words that Phil said to me. We came together as a group. We came together as a collective and taught us a lot of lessons to be resilient. To get through these tough times. My last couple of years at Crows, it was really tough to find the drive, and I kept trying to find it, and then I guess the time was right just to move back to Carlton, and that's the Crows. See, they love me. They want me to go home. Get away, Tex.
Yes, Eddie Betts is a Blue once again, 15 years after he first ran around at Princes Park.
Well, Tiggy coached us for 3 years at Adelaide, and he rang up me a few times and said, "How you going today? Did you have fun?" And I goes, "No, I didn't have fun." He goes, "There you go. You need to start having fun. You need to start smiling."
The impact he's had on our playing group already has been phenomenal. As long as he's having fun, we want to see him smile. That's the key to tonight.
When I got to the footy club, I got up in front of all the boys and they said to me, what is your biggest thing that you're going to bring to this footy club? And I said, well, in my everyday life, I come in, I sit down at my locker, and I've always said, I want to make someone else smile. It's the easiest thing to do, make someone else smile. And a lot of the boys were surprised by that. A lot of boys were like, what's the easiest thing to do? And, you're coming out of your way to make your teammates smile. And they said, well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to make someone else smile. But to move back now and to come back to where it all started, I'm really happy. My family's happy. My wife, she's back home. And I'm back home as well. To move back and finish my footy career off at the Carlton Football Club, I think is really special.
Can't waste time now. Oh, that's the end of the game. That tackle, I think, will win the game.
The more enjoyment we get out of a footy club, the more enjoyment we get out of a team. That builds that culture, that builds that fun culture. You have a fun culture, then you start bringing out game day, then you start having fun on game, then you start winning.
Can you believe it? Eddie's back. All hail Eddie.
Every chance that I get, wherever I go, I want to find out whose land I'm on, what tribes are around, what language groups are here.
They got about 4 or 5.
I'm Aboriginal, We've got a beautiful culture, a beautiful history, a rich history. I've still got so much more to learn. One of the big things that I'm working on at the moment is getting Carlton connected with the Aboriginal community around Victoria to understand, whose land we're on, what language group there is, what tribes we have around here in Victoria. I mean, I've been racially abused in Adelaide for 6 years, and I was the oldest there, and I was staying strong for the young Aboriginal boys. They were hurting more than I was. A lot of these young kids, I believe that they do get racially abused, but they're just too scared to speak up about it because they think what's going to happen to them. That's where we, as footy clubs, need to protect these young Indigenous players. And I'm happy to stand in front of the camera and protect them, to stand up and say, we don't stand for this. My wife always said it too, just keep smiling. The only way we can hurt them is smile. I'll keep hitting them back with education. I'll keep saying you need to learn, you need to educate yourself. I had Charlie Cameron live with me for the first year at the Crows, and I really enjoyed being like a father figure or a bigger brother. All the boys, and especially with the Aboriginal boys, I've always wanted our house to be a home away from home. I want my house to feel like you're at home. That's just how we are as a family. We like to open our house up to anyone. My older boy was really emotional and he started crying the other day because I'm not home with him, and kind of made me a bit emotional. And I said, don't worry, stay strong. We're going to be together as soon as you know it. And as a family, we're going to stay strong. We're going to get through it, and we're going to stay positive. When I look back on my life and I kind of think, what makes me happy? And it's my family, it's my kids. And every time I think of them, no matter what, they don't care about footy. You win, you lose, you go home, he's smiling, she's smiling. Family first, footy second. If I'm having a bad day, I look at that and I look at them and I start smiling, and it kind of reminds me, my kids, they're the reason why I'm still playing 16 years later, and I keep playing good footy, kicking goals, embracing the crowd and smiling. And that's just who I am as a person.